I'm Bobbie Pearce. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about how they spelled my name, Bobbie Pearce, in the 4th grade yearbook. I wish I was joking, but no, it ended up being kind of like a sign from God, because little beanpole me ended up getting porn tits and a lifetime of people laughing at me, even when I'm not trying to be funny. But you know what? We're all flawed. I'm flawed. One of my favorite things that's wrong with myself is that I'm half deaf. My left ear is like as useless as my ex-boyfriend going down on me. You know when people in relationships break up, you like to play a game like, who's winning? And you know, my ex dumped me out of the blue after cheating on me, and I was left emotionally scarred. But he got frosted tips. Speaking of shitty things, I recently read a statistic that said, in the span of our lives, we end up spending over a year on the toilet, and I was really relieved, because that means that if I were to spend a whole year of my life, I don't know, studying comedic arts at Emerson College, it would be less time than I spent on the toilet. So personally, one of my biggest fears right now is Mr. Right coming along and sweeping me off my feet. This is because the idea of me being a quirky girl in a rom-com really makes me want to vomit. I've already got the bad backstory with men plotline down, and the other day I caught myself saying, I just find it really hard to let people in. Fucking next thing I'll know, I'll be publicly playing the ukulele, and people will be calling me the next Zoe Deschanel. Sometimes when I talk to my therapist, I tell her that I have self-image issues when I get anxious. And she never really says anything to make me feel better. And I don't know if it's because she doesn't want to lie or because she wants me to stop seeking validation from other people, but trying to figure out which it is making me more anxious. So just fucking tell me I'm pretty, Susan. And while you're at it, it'd be nice if you tell me I have a nice natural body odor. I've always struggled with going to therapy. I was diagnosed with panic disorder when I was 10. And when I was a kid, my mom used to bribe me with chicken nuggets to get me to go to therapy. And when I say kid, I mean 16. There was a McDonald's next to my therapist's office. And I'd come out all mad, and she'd go, how was it? And I'd say, bad. And she'd slide me a 10-piece, and then we'd ride home in silence. People think that when you have an anxiety disorder, it means that you feel emotions more than other people, but in reality, I feel like I only really feel one emotion. Happy, crying. Sad, crying. Horny, crying. Stand up at a Emerson comedy special. Crying. You know what? I'm doing my best. I'm just a half-deaf comedic arts major trying her best not to be quirky. But I've been putting myself out there. Recently I went to an open mic with 2 male friends of mine, and I was so excited because I had this new set idea where I was going to talk about the trauma of being a beanpole and waking up with porn tits. And I get there, and I immediately realize the pub that it's being held at is all men. There is not a woman in sight. And immediately I become nervous, because for starters, never do you want to be a lone 19-year-old girl in a bar full of men with 2 comedic arts majors as your protection. One of which you told me, listen, if something goes down, I'm going to push you and run. The other thing is that none of these stinky boys were going to understand what it's like to find surprise crumbs in the underwire of your bra or the sweet relief of a period poop. So I was going to have to change my set. I'm a mess. So after I went to that open mic, I went on a rant in one of my classes about how comedy tends to be really male-dominated. I don't know how many of you have been to the typical open mic here at Emerson, but it's a big old pee-pee fest. There is so much testosterone in the air that sometimes I get nervous and wonder why my balls haven't dropped yet. And then I remember I have a vagina, and its name is Sharon. And so after I went on this rant in class, a boy came up to me, and he goes, so, do you like women comics? I swear to holy Jesus, that was his exact wording. And as a female comedic arts major, wasn't really sure what to say. Do you like women comics? No, I hate myself. I do, but for other reasons. He then goes on to show me this one female comic that he likes. And he's like, I like her because unlike other female comics, she doesn't talk about sex. Do you know how many times I have sat through sets of men talking about sex, masturbation, and their penises? I know lots of intimate details about many Emerson boy schlongers, and it's not because I'm getting action, it's because I go to open mics. If anything, I think that it's men who need to talk a little bit less about sex and spend a little more time on the fun side of YouTube, where you can watch Extra for Buttercup show you how to finger a peach because you don't know much about vaginas. I think that we all need to know more about vaginas. That's why I created a quiz that we're going to take right now. Would you mind answering this first question for me? Okay. Do you know where the clit is located? A, only in a Pizza Hut bathroom. B, yes, but I purposely ignore it as a way of trying to regain the male privilege I lost after crying while watching The Notebook. C, yes, but unfortunately for you, Bobbie, I am gay. D, no.
Oh, safe route, D, no.
I respect it. Could you answer this question for me? Which one of these is real? Ovary growth disorder, vaginitis, my coochie is going kooky. Kooky coochie? Sadly not. It's actually vaginitis, and I know what you're thinking, it sounds fake as fuck. Like something I'd say to my middle school gym teacher to get out of running the mile. Like, Mr. Johnson, I can't do that, I have vaginitis. Oh, yikes, you better go to the nurse. But no, it's real. It's a term for when vaginas hurt and doctors don't know why. It's a real medical term. It's almost like people don't care a lot about women's health care. Alright, this is my last question. It's worth the most amount of points. Coming over to you. Do you think that I'm cute?
Yes.
Would you like mono?
No.
I understand. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, a lot of my friends are going to the castle next semester, so if you want to hang out, I'm around.